Hello and welcome everyone, I am C.S.Gilmore, and this is Scratches, Director's Cut. This is a little horror game. I think it's a point-and-click adventure, but I don't recall. I can't seem to find a way to turn the volume down on the music right now, so... to play Scratches Last Visit? Or Scratches Director's Cut? I think the Last Visit is a little DLC content. So for now, we'll play Director's Cut. We'll play Last Visit after that. Make sure it's not something different. Hope I can change the volume settings once I actually get into the game. But I don't know for sure what will happen. It doesn't seem too loud. Introduction to the place via pictures. It's all very, very grayish.
I arrived at Blackwood Manor one cold Saturday morning amidst a thick veil of fog. The weather didn't look good, and there was an unnatural calm surrounding the area, yet I soon became entangled with the place.
Alright, this game's a bit old, so don't expect the top-notch level of graphics. It's still not bad, though. The system, like the setup they have, works pretty well, I think, for the horror aspect of it. Okay, let's see here. Saturday, October 12th. No idea what year it is. What year is it? The cloudy sky above me seemed rather unsettling and almost made me lose my balance. I felt a curious urge to run for shelter, and my new home in the distance seemed very inviting. Oh, okay. So yeah, point-and-click adventure, but with a panoramic view style. The mailbox was empty. Not empty. Okay, so while I'm here, let me new so I can save. Alright, doesn't look like I can do anything about the sound, so sorry about that, everyone. I hope you can hear me okay and still enjoy the game. So okay, different sand. Wow, this is a very slidey view. Like, really easy to slide around. Okay. Well, now. A hefty lock was preventing my entry to the garage. Because apparently you get a new home and don't get the keys for it beforehand? I don't know. Seems questionable to me. I hope this doesn't make anyone motion sick. By the way, with all this spinning around. Okay. Hope I don't get motion sick. Okay, we've got a path over there. I do believe we're supposed to approach the manor house first, though. Interesting place. What am I looking at? Something over here. There was nothing but deep darkness beyond that grating. Lovely. There was nothing but deep darkness beyond that grating. Once again, grating, but it's grating there right off. Maybe it's just me. I played this game before. As I recall, it was actually pretty good. A pair of lamps at the front were awfully dirty and covered in dust. Oh, it's referring to these. Okay. So the boxes of interaction don't seem to be exact. The door to the house was locked, fortunately. Except for the hole far where I'm locked out. Oh, I do have items. Got luggage. And a key. Okay, how do I actually use the key? Got a journal. Nice. It was the key Jerry gave me to Blackwood Manor. The suitcase was holding some of my stuff and was awfully heavy. It was my journal. My loyal typewriter was inside that case. Okay, so I've got a typewriter. Okay, click on the item, then right-click. With very little effort, the key unlocked the front door. Okay, that sounds weird. I don't know if it's supposed to be making that noise or not. It's hard to tell with some of this stuff. It's a lovely room. Phone call. There's the phone.
Hello?
Michael, it's me.
Hey, Jerry. It's good to hear your voice.
I see that piece of junk you got there is working.
My thoughts exactly. I was afraid it'd fall apart as soon as I laid my fingers on it.
So how did you find everything? Do you like the place?
It's hard to tell yet. I'm very impressed, that's for sure.
You sound odd. Is everything okay?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. It's just that I'm in awe. I mean, pleasantly surprised. This house is like a dream come true.
So you do like it? You got me worried there for 1 second.
I'm telling you, I'm going to turn this place into a factory of horror stories.
Good. You ought to finish that book. I'm rooting for you, mate. You sure everything is in order?
Well, I just got here. Let me have a look around, and I'll get back to you if I find anything strange.
Excellent. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Let me check something. Okay, that cleared that. Did that stay cleared? Nope. Okay, whatever weird book noise is, it appears like it's going to be steady. Unfortunately. I honestly didn't expect that. Okay, whatever that weird noise is, it's something in that room. I certainly wouldn't have minded trying those expensive lines. I know they would have been around the basement. Okay, so a bunch of expensive lines. Who owned this place last, and why did they leave so much stuff behind? Did he inherit this place, or something else? A couple of beautiful vases made of shiny glass were standing on the table. I guess that's what happens when you don't water the plants for a long time. Yeah, this place seems to be moderately abandoned. Also, these chairs are pointy enough to skewer yourself on. That would be an interesting murder weapon in a story. Kick death by pointy chair. Okay, nice picture. I always thought that was a picture at first, then I realized, oh wait, that's a mirror. Alright, cottage. Oh, a drawer I can open. Tablecloths, napkins, it certainly isn't my thing. Okay, so there appears to be a lot of interactable objects here that are not important. And definitely some weird boxes for clicking on things that don't seem to be overly well connected to their objects. This little church. Can I open this one? I just want to go back. The controls are very sensitive. The door. It opens that I honestly didn't expect would. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Several vases of African craftsmanship were standing against the west window. The drawer was stuck beyond hope. Not beyond hope. No. Anything but that. All in all, this game's got rather nice artwork. A very consistent theme of coloration. I'll give it that. It was just an ordinary little table. I'm pretty sure that's a stove. Thank you very much. The door to the oven was firmly stuck in place. Oven, okay. I wasn't very specific there, I suppose. Now, can I open something here? Okay. Yeah, definitely some weird placement with the view of this everything. What is this guy have me look at? The stove, oddly enough. I'm not sure. I don't remember this issue being such an issue before. Maybe it was. The door to what I assumed was the basement was locked. Okay, so that's locked. Hello, fridge. The interior of the refrigerator was begging for some serious cleaning, not to mention a powerful disinfectant. Yeah. What about this door? This door opens. I'm just going to wander randomly into this house. Deeper and deeper. Into the depths of oblivion. What horrors await, I know not. Ooh, this looks important. The topmost sheet of paper of the pile had some curious markings on it, so I grabbed it to have a closer look. Alright. It was a piece of paper with some strange markings. I was sure that there was much more to it than that first seemed clear. Okay, apparently I can't do anything else with it. Unless I'm just not clicking the right buttons. Squirrel. Housekeeping, something. Can't do anything with it. Just a bunch of uninteresting books. Nothing there. I have a feeling this game is going to be very easy to miss things in. Okay, we've got an old bed. Here we are. Practical photography. Apparently nothing I'm interested in. And that looks at the painting. The bed in this room was miserable looking. Forest. Looks like a railway track in the forest, perhaps? Even a castle in the distance there, I think. It looks like whoever stayed in this room loved photography. And apparently they left everything behind when they went somewhere. There was just some useless junk. That's my biggest question here right now is, why is there so much personal belongings and, like, still lying around? Quite interesting. So the music has stopped. How far back does this place go? Okay, here we are. Okay, a flower in the fountain. I do believe the sink was covered with a thick coating of dust. It looked as if the cleaning ladies had skipped this room. Apparently the water wasn't running. Okay. And apparently I'm clicking on random things I don't mean to click on when I click on other things. Evidently this bathroom had been used as some kind of dark room. Yep, so we've got the opening credits here. Hurrah. Hooray for opening credit scenes. Interesting that they actually made a part of the game, though. Further investigation. Okay. Yep, smelly toilet. Got it. But I do find it very strange. I can click on something completely on, like, one side of the room and look at a thing behind me. Occasionally. Not even all the time. Like, it doesn't seem to be necessarily reliable in that regard. Drawers within drawers. Ooh, a knife. Why do I need a knife? Apparently I'm taking it with me, though. The knife is mine. None can stop me. Alright. Looks like I'll be putting something in here eventually and grinding it. It was a nice rustic old-fashioned grinder. Not a clue what I'll be grinding in it right off. It's been a long time since I played this game and I don't remember a lot of it. There was plenty of kitchen utensils in the house, ready to be used. Ah, out the back door we go. Was this not locked? Well, what's the purpose of having the front door locked if the back door opens willy-nilly? For anyone who comes to it. Oh look, you've got bushes surrounding the place. It won't stop anyone. Unless the bushes are... perhaps attack bushes. Well, the guy does show some apparent evasion to walking anywhere but the paths. Where am I going? Okay, I think that was back the way I came. Okay, that was back there again. Here we go. Forward. Thank you. Look at the funny crypt. A thick wire was tied between both handles, securing the door to the crypt. Let's see what that. Can I cut it? It was impossible to cut the wire with the knife. That is a no. Nice way of saying no. But I don't know why I couldn't undo the wire with my hands. I mean, wire is generally pretty undoable. Not like. As whoever tied it was really good at tying knots. I mean, I'm assuming this is metal wire anyway. If the knife couldn't cut it, either my guy isn't trying very hard. Another possibility. Okay, let's take a look at this shelf here. So much to this place. Tons of adorned shelves. Okay. To turn on hints with how weird the controls are with clicking on things. I may have to turn hints on just to get an idea of where to go at times. Not sure. Got a back way upstairs. I think there was a nice room had been prepared for me upstairs. Okay. So I've got this way up. And I believe there's a front side that enters down into the main room. This is the bathroom. I would not be sleeping in here. There were a couple of towels in the bathroom, but a great deal of repair would be necessary before I would attempt to take a shower. I might fall through the floor. Other things. Okay, we're opening doors. To look at in there because I don't think I'm gonna find it. Let's see. Further upstairs, eh? Ah, classic Lovecrafty picture. Used in many places, many Lovecraftian games, and I do believe there's a Call of Cthulhu picture over there. Yes, it is. Can I go upstairs? No? Yes? Yes. Let's go further upstairs. Oh, what a lovely mansion. Filled with strange, random rooms. That may or may not serve a purpose. The door seems to be stuck. A fairly ill-kept place. It was just a pile of old bricks. Definitely a British style. Okay, apparently that was the door. I thought I was clicking on something on the ground, but no. I thought there was another door in here, though. I want to check that one. Moving forward. The upper bathroom would have been beautiful under different conditions, but in its current state, it was sad and depressing. So, yeah, about that. Can I open that door? Apparently not. Maybe if... I saw a grippy. There we go. Okay, yeah, the controls are definitely a little wonky with the gripping things and whatnot. What is this? An old lamp. I had to light the stove first. So, I need to do that. Looks like I'll be needing to cook something up here. The amount of fashion in this room was unbelievable. I didn't even want to imagine the piles of rubbish that were inside those boxes. Yep, very, very Englandy, British style of words. Rubbish. This is a pretty old game, so I'll give it a pass on the wonky controls. Alright, that way up there. And it looks to be another room up here. Oh, another staircase that goes up. Oh, and another door. The door was locked, but I could see a key on the other side through the keyhole. Okay, so that one's locked from the other side, basically. So what you're telling me, I have to find my way around. Okay, we're on a stairwell. And to what purpose was I coming up here? A couple of old and rusty lamps adorned the top of the tower. Ah, there we go. Now I can look outside. And it's suddenly nighttime. It's like a X-Men movie. Magneto lifting the bridge, and then suddenly it's night. Okay. I know not for what purpose I have come hither. I shall depart hence. Down. No, I meant to go down, not up. Thank you very much. Down. Thank you. Now let's see if we can go up these stairs. Very poor lighting setup here. That is a very dark place. Whoop, I went back down the stairs. I wanted to open the door, but no. Accidentally clicked on the wrong thing again. Okay, this is a little frustrating. Where's the grippy sign? There we go. Okay. This seems important. What's the purpose of this? I think I broke it. Try this again. Well, I don't know what purpose that had to it other than to, for some reason, do that. A useless array of random items of every imaginable size and color occupied all the corners of the attic. There was nothing of interest among those trinkets. Oh, but is there? Could be something useful here somewhere, unseen by anything. Unseen amongst all the rubbish. Like this random chest here. That seems like a potential. Globe. Ah, newspapers. I may need a more specific date to look for. Okay, I imagine I'll be coming back here then. Hello, lamp. Various pictures. For what purpose, I don't know. Can't really read them. Some of these I can read, but... meat cuttings. Here's our team. Okay, I think that's a little way of them hiding some credits in there. Could be wrong. I don't know how big a group worked on this. All in all, yeah, aside from the controls, this game's pretty good. For appearance, atmosphere, the sound coming and going is a little weird. I guess that's the idea, is that some of the areas have sound and some don't. I think one of these will be my room. And one of these will be some other stuff. Bunch of various pictures. Okay, I wanted to look at that more, but not that so much. Why? For what purpose? The bed seemed to be comfortable, but too fancy for me. Picky. For what purpose would I shift that lamp around? Maybe it will become clearer in time. I didn't want to go through a bunch of trinkets and perfumes. Okay. It should go through this one just fine. No issue with that. Okay. Watch. Okay, close that. Nothing major. Lots of little odds and ends. No apparent purpose to it. I didn't want to go through a bunch of trinkets and perfumes. The bed seemed to be very comfortable. Once again, looking over at things that are not in my line of sight behind me. To what end? Alright. I guess we'll leave this room. We've only got a few more rooms to go, and then we'll be able to... That's probably my room at the end there. I do believe this was more of a showroom. I was unusually surprised after entering this room. It was some kind of gallery, its theme being African culture. Something that looked like a lion's claw was formerly attached to a necklace. This is a cool bit. African voodoo. No, voodoo wasn't African, was it? Anyway, those masks, they made me feel very uneasy. They seemed to be guarding the room. Yep, guardian masks. One apparently missing. Was it nicer from the other side? What do you mean it was nicer from the other side? Nothing I can apparently click on. Lamp seemed to be broken beyond repair, probably the souvenir of a hazardous journey. Of all the things I could look at, that was it. Alright, I know this moves. Or I do believe one of these displays here does. It wouldn't move. Yeah, this does. This display was case was holding perhaps the most impressive items in the room. Some inscribed tusks. Interesting. Don't recall how to move anything. Dragon, tiger. Can't tell. Anyway, interesting. I don't see anything I can do in here right now. I do believe they're trying to tell me, look, you can't do much right yet. Just go lie down, take a nap. That should lead back down to the main room. I quietly realized that this had to be my room. It became evident why as I glimpsed the gorgeous view through the huge window. Ah, so perhaps he's renting the place? I intended to brighten up the whole place, but to my surprise, the lights wouldn't work. To your surprise, the place is falling apart, and you're surprised that the light didn't work. A beautiful old desk was standing against the window with an extraordinary and inspiring view. Let's see if I can put my keys here. There we go. Called it. Paper, typewriter, close. That way. I was eager to start doing some more, but the idea of exploring was too tempting. Okay. Hint, hint. Keep good you put that down, but keep looking around. No horror novels. Unbelievable. Apparently this person has a very singular interest in horror novels and that alone. While I appreciate horror novels quite a bit and enjoy them myself, I am not exclusively interested in them. Michael, it took me months, but at last I think I managed, so to speak, as there are only a very few details left, but I can confirm with certainty that the house is yours. I owe you an apology because I didn't think it would take me that much time. I tell you, I'd have never thought that finding a Victorian house in no more and no less than in Rothburg would have been so hard. The majority of the old houses in this region are either impossible to live in, or they belong to the aristocracy. As if that wasn't enough, you and your bloody whims wasn't really that necessary being so cut off from town. Why all this sudden need to force solitude? Well, as long as you don't become one of those typical hermit writers. Anyway, this beauty will take your breath away. It belonged to a wealthy family that always took great care of it around the mid-60s. It became the property of one person, I believe a friend of this family. He lived there for about 5 years or so and then abandoned it. Yes, you read it. You read right, abandoned it. As far as I know, this lunatic, a renowned doctor, spent his last days skiing drunk in lousy bars before vanishing from the face of the earth. Why someone would do that is beyond me. The house then became the property of the National Trust, and surprisingly enough, no one ever did anything about it. That is, until I rescued it from oblivion, of course. It took me a lot of work, so I hope you like it. The price is just as we discussed earlier. I know it's hard to believe, but the price of the interior was never agreed upon, so whatever you find inside, be it furniture or a long-lost remembrance, it's yours. Just remember our deal. If you find anything of great value, you have to share it. Now, I won't bother if you're sofa collection happens to be valued in the thousands, but if you bump into a hidden catch of money, you can never know really, then I want a piece of it. Wait a second. If you happen to sell any important item you find inside the house, such as your sofa collection, I have to get a part too. Business is business, my friend. By the way, I sent 2 people over yesterday to clean it from top to bottom. 6 years without inhabitants must have left a nice coat of dust, don't you think? They couldn't do wonders, though, and you are going to need weeks to fully clean that place. Oh, they told me the house seems to have a rat problem, but you can't have it all. Should you need anything, don't hesitate to give me a call. Your friend, Jerry. So, rat problem. Matches. Real estate agent. Okay, got it. Barbara. I hope I don't have to actually remember those numbers. That'd be annoying. So it looks like I could come up and check it anytime. Well, honestly, if I end up having to really type in numbers myself, it was too early to go to bed. Just want to look around. Then I guess I'll just write them down. Oh, interesting. That seems to be it. Oh, I grabbed the stethoscope, which seemed to be about the only useful thing in the bag. I'm glad I found that before I decided to leave it. It appeared as if a doctor used to sleep in this room, and then he abandoned the place. Alright, so no power for the lights, and I'm stuck in this place. Apparently, where else can it go, though? Let me go put the theory to the test with the phone. To the phone, please. Thank you. No, I have to go to the phone. These controls are definitely going to take some getting used to. Wanted to speak with Jerry. Oh, good. Looks like I don't have to memorize numbers.
Hello?
Jerry, it's me.
What's up, Michael?
Everything seems to be fine, except the lights don't work.
Oh, you don't have to worry. I forgot to tell you. I had an electrician, one that I trust, to meet you there this morning. You know how a lack of power can be a recurring issue in old places like that. He should be arriving soon.
That's good to know. I'll set up my stuff and let you know how everything does later.
Perfect. Have fun.
Sure.
I set my stuff. Anything else from Jerry? No. Barbara. No, at least I can skip it. I don't know who Barbara is.
Hello, R8 Productions.
R8 Productions? What in heaven's name was that?
Oh, hi, boss. I was just fooling around.
Well, don't. I don't want people thinking I'm some kind of studio. And don't call me boss.
I'm sorry, it's just that no one was calling and all of a sudden I got excited.
I told you it was going to be that way, girl. But I still need you there. I just hope you're not being bored to death.
Oh, don't worry. I'm studying tongues during my spare time. I love that so much.
That's great, but don't lower your guard. As soon as I publish my new book, that place is going to get riddled with phone calls and hundreds of fan mail.
That's the spirit, boss. I know your new book is going to be a huge success.
Of course it will. As soon as I find a proper ending. And stop calling me boss.
As you wish, boss. Oh, sorry.
Thanks. Goodbye.
Good luck.
Yeah, fan mail and other things. I would wait count time for a first book. Unless that first book is amazing. So, usually you have to kind of establish yourself before you really start getting a lot of things like that, as I understand it. Finds the red clock, which sadly wasn't functioning. Okay. I do want to look at the grand... Oh, wait. One more thing. What about this? It was all gibberish to me. Me as well. Hello, door. Man, this place is huge. But I'm going to put this all in this one episode. I do believe, just for now, get this all worked out. Bunch of uninteresting books. Get the main establishment done in one episode that way. The construction of the railway bridge is almost complete, and went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected, yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I will be very sad to leave South Africa. I've become so attached to its culture, its arts, more over the past few months, that I can't help feeling as if it was already a part of me. I will surely return someday. Soon, hopefully, although I'm afraid there is a great deal of work to be taken care of back in Old Britain. Fortunately, I made good friends here who were ecstatic about my new appreciation of their country. They have offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I have already created and got ready to ship. Along with many trinkets I bought myself, it looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I fear several renovations will have to be made, even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I'll have to get back to work. John Patterson has just told me some natives are causing trouble. A very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been distraction. They just stand still between the trees staring at us without blinking an eye. I've watched them for a few minutes, and they truly seem like some tenebrous statues. At first it was just annoying, but lately it has become downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us. So it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling as if they were about to jump out at us at any moment. I think I will hire some protection as a measure of precaution. Fascinating. I've been looking into these natives. They live in a nearby village and are a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thought of them as quite an uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated. One can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspect looks awful, although I couldn't take a good look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own. It could have been dangerous getting any closer. Also, the village is poor and very rough, but some of the shacks leapt out as inviting or special. It made me very curious. I will try to come closer tomorrow. My second expedition to the village of the natives has been foiled by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part, an indication that I should be focusing more on the task at hand and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault, and I accept it. They are at it again, lurking beyond the forest. It's amazing how they have changed our perception of the surroundings. At first we were delayed by the quiet nature of the place. Now we fear what horrors might be concealed in that dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals. Even the river, telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive towards distractions, but I can't help feeling the area has in fact become more sinister, and I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. At last I found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is an incredible finding, and I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders at the local town happened to know about them, but only through stories they heard. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assured to be extinct long ago. But according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that we could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking the town, much in the same way they have been stalking us. People used to call them as such was the sound of screams heard echoing late in the night. They'd come out into the street and see an evil glitter atop a hill in the distance. Some would say it was a fire, others the cursed spirit of an ancient god. Whatever it was, they say the bright light amid those fantastic screams was bone-chilling. The macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun out of nowhere, never to be seen again in days to come. Intervals between those horrible nights became longer and longer until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity until now. They were later known as the Dalmar, a rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody has ever heard about this tribe, with the exception of a few townspeople. They must be incredibly rare, and judging by the stories passed on from generations in the town, very old. I will confess that I've become nearly obsessed with this strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all South African things, a dangerous yet irresistible if they were my discovery. I simply have to study them before leaving. I fear I won't have the chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. Finally, I have managed to see them. My God, what a disturbing spectacle. When we arrived, they were moving around the village very slowly, without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or her own business. Completely alien to the rest of the world, they were filthy looking, coarse and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange behavior in a tribe. They must be quite unique. Then, as if they had suddenly all become possessed by some wild spirit, they began shaking spasmodically and screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank and moaning in an indescribable way. 2 of them walked away, still in that monotonous and slow manner, and in great contrast to the rest of the scene, into a shack. The next minute they brought out into the open an odd-looking mask. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, were mesmerizing, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it. It rendered my modest collection of African curiosities into dull and uninteresting items. The mask was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it and move in circles, fluttering and chanting a guttural song. Judging by their emotions and aspect of whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. I'm not sure how to explain what happened next, so as I feel my pulse is already throbbing, words fail me to recount the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle, near the mask, by his own will. It was an almost automatic act. All of a sudden, the remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think Dolby and the others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked wet and expectant. The silence was so unnatural. Then a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on the single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs in 2s and 3s and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and the torso soon disappeared under the frenzied tangle of hands. In a matter of a few minutes, the villager was turned into a red sack of bones. Not one of the attackers had the compassion to snap his neck during the sickening process. All was very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. The most terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I would expect any living creature to scream, its guts out in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I did recognize him dancing like everybody else before walking into the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I've ever heard of. I don't think I will ever forget what I saw. My intentions of approaching further, even if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. Those creatures, I dare not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in the blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything intruding into their path. While the images of the sacrifice still haunt my thought, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptively simple and yet perfect in its design. I haven't seen anything like it. I surely would love to take a better look. I feel the Dalmar, dangerous as they are, could be the most important... A bit missing there, it seems. Ethnical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigation. I just can't leave them like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask. That mask. I was ecstatic after reading the journal. The material was incredible. That was a lot of reading. Let's hope there isn't any more of it. Okay, why do I have this? The envelope was empty. And yet I've grabbed it for no apparent reason. And I can't open this last drawer. Or... There we go. Ah, good thing I could manage to work it out. Apparently I needed to, for reasons. That wasn't useful. When did I grab a pen? I don't remember grabbing a pen. I think I would remember that. Can I go further in here? Take a better look at the other side? No. Okay. A globe with spirit. Lovely. Is there a purpose to this? I have a feeling this is hiding something, but I don't know how to access it. That wasn't useful. I didn't have to have a need to write on that. Nope. There's no point in writing an address on it until I had something to mail. Just mailing that paper. Nope. Okay. Well. And we're back in here. Ah, I walked right past that door before. Alright, I think we've explored nearly everywhere except for that one extra path outside. Oh, I do want to take a look at this clock. The majestic grandfather clock was gently ticking nearby. It was almost sleep-inducing, but I was glad it was working. It was a rather torn umbrella. As usual, craftsmanship, blah blah. Okay. Well, I'm about run out of places to explore here, it seems. Something presents itself. Okay, we got two paths. Let's follow this branch. Alright, we've gone around to the edge of the property, it seems. What am I looking at? The soil in this area of the garden was devoid of life. I'm guessing I can dig here later if I get a shovel. What's this? These drawers of the chapel were locked. That wasn't useful. Oh, I wonder if I could use this to knock the key out of the lock. Upstairs. I might be able to do that with the screwdriver. Hopefully, whatever that is I've got there. Anyway, got one more path to check. At least one more evident path. And I think there's more to this place than I'm seeing. It's really hard to tell. In many ways, there was a small pool of water below the arching tree. The tree was a little hole in the base which allowed some water to pass through. That's interesting. The tree was standing on a small knoll, crowning an otherwise bare area with its thin branches slowly swaying in the gentle wind. All of a sudden, I began to feel very low. What the purpose of this place is. I mean, it seems to serve some purpose. This looks like a greenhouse. The door to the greenhouse was stuck, probably due to some serious rusting of its hinges. So I'm guessing I'll need to find some oil then. Huh. What else is there to check here? No, I need to go back. Which means I need to go that way. There we go. The path was not all that evident. I went to the front gates, just as Jerry had instructed, but there was no sign of the electrician. Well, that certainly wasn't a smooth start. Mr. Arthate. Mr. Carter sent me here today to fix a power problem in your residence. I was told to meet you at the gates, but I've been waiting a few minutes and still haven't seen any signs of you. I will wait some more and then leave. Please contact Mr. Carter as soon as possible. So I've missed the electrician. But I think I've gone where I needed to go. I don't think I can go in there yet. Let's go talk to Arthur. No, not Arthur. What's his name? Mr. Carter. Oh, what's his name? Yeah. Jerry. We'll work from there.
Carter Properties.
Jerry, we have a problem.
What
The electrician missed me. He left a note in the mailbox.
Bloody hell! He was supposed to meet you at the gates early this morning. I thought he was just being late.
Damn, but I must have missed him for a few minutes. What the heck am I supposed to do now?
Why don't you go check the fuses yourself? Maybe it isn't that serious.
I don't know. I'm not very good with that kind of thing.
Michael, even my grandmother could improvise a fuse. Just go and look, and let me know if you see anything burned.
As in black spots?
Yes, black spots.
All right, I'm
know
on
where
it.
the box is. Right, I don't even know where the fuse box is supposed to be. Anyway, okay, this looks like it's going to take longer than I thought it would to get through the first state or whatever. So I think this will be a good spot to stop this episode. So, yeah, I'm getting this here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.